What's going on, YouTube? It's VA Prince 101, and I'm going to bring you sort of a different commentary today. If you know me, then you know that I'm a huge sports guy, mostly football, a little bit of basketball type of guy. And what I wanted to do is go over my NFL Week 2 picks. I'll probably do this every other week, meaning next week I won't do it, but the week after that I'll do it. Up into the playoffs, which I'll probably do that for every week. And we'll start. I don't really want to start off with the bad games. And if you've never seen football, you probably don't live in America, which means that you're overseas in football. I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, football is kind of stupid because you play with your hands." But yeah, this is an American pastime. If you live in England or any other place, Britain or whatever, you should get into American football. But here we go. We're going to start off with me going over the game that happened last night between the Chicago Bears and the Packers. From what I pretty much saw Chicago pretty much hand the game to Green Bay. I know Green Bay had that one fake field goal that they did a little shovel pass to a touchdown. That was nice, but Jay Cutler literally had no protection. They sacked him 7 times. He threw for 4 more picks. I only call one of those picks his fault. Brandon Marshall dropped the ball in the end zone, which could have helped them a little bit. I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game. But yeah, the Packers are looking pretty strong right now, but I don't think one win really helps them out right now. I don't think the Packers are going to be as good as they were last year. They still might make the playoffs. But that division is going to be tough between them and Chicago. And they got to go back to Chicago and play, so that could be for the division right there. So I'm not going to say I think the Packers' offense is not going to be as explosive as they've been in the past, and their defense is hot shit. Okay, let's start off with the first game that I see, which is Kansas City versus Buffalo. Kansas City is coming off of a loss to Atlanta, which is my team, so I don't really feel bad for them. Buffalo is coming off a loss to the Jets, whose offense literally ran all shit over them after not scoring a touchdown with their first team offense. I'm going to say Kansas City wins this game because I don't think Buffalo's defense is really that good, and Fitzpatrick is not a good quarterback whatsoever. So I'm gonna give the nod to Kansas City. New Orleans versus Carolina, an NFC South game. I think New Orleans is going into Carolina. I want to have to give it to New Orleans after coming off that huge loss to RG3 and the Redskins. Yeah, it's just not. It's going to be a good game. I think Cam Newton is going to go through the sophomore slump, as you saw that last week when he threw 2 picks against Tampa Bay, and it's just going to be a tough game for them. But then again, New Orleans defense is kind of bad after giving up all of those yards to RG3 and the Redskins. So we'll see, and we'll see if Drew Brees can bounce back off of that game. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't Drew Brees. He threw 2 picks, so we'll see. I'll give the nod to the Saints, but I would not be surprised if New Carolina won. Cleveland versus Cincinnati. Cleveland is garbage, so I'm going to give it to Cincinnati. Minnesota versus Indianapolis. I want to say Andrew Luck's making his second start. He'll have a better chance with the Minnesota defense. He just has to watch out for Jared Allen, because Jared Allen is a sack machine. So, but AP is really hard to bet against. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota beating Indianapolis. But I won't be surprised if Andrew Luck had a big day. Houston versus I want to say Jacksonville. Jacksonville is complete garbage, so Houston's gonna beat them handily. Arizona versus New England. Arizona has a quarterback situation going on, and their defense really isn't that good, so I want to give it to Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Tampa Bay versus the Giants. This one's going to actually be a pretty good game. It's really hard to decide. The Giants did not look good whatsoever to the Cowboys in the opener. I thought that the Giants were going to beat the Cowboys, but then again, in NFL, who knows what's going to happen. I'm going to have to give it to the Giants. I just don't see the Giants going 0-2. Back-to-back. Tampa Bay looks nice, but I don't know. I think it's going to still be the same Tampa Bay team. Another good game coming on this week is Baltimore versus Philly. I don't know. This one is going to be a good game. Michael Vick threw 4 picks in the opener and still won. But the Baltimore offense is looking real nice. They put up 44 points against Cincinnati. So I'm gonna have to give it to the Baltimore Ravens. They're just real hot right now, and it's real hard to get against Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. And Joe Flacco's looking real nice this year. He has a passing game that no huddle. It's gonna look. I see the Baltimore putting up 40 again. I don't see them putting up 40 again against the Philadelphia Eagles, but I do see it. Joe Flacco at least throwing 3 touchdowns. Ray Rice is gonna get a touchdown too. Oakland versus Miami. Miami is garbage, so I'm going to give it to Oakland. I don't even need to explain that game. It's a lot of games I just don't need to explain because a lot of these teams are shit. Washington versus Seattle. RG3 making a second start after that sensational start against the Saints. Do 2 touchdowns, 330 yards passing without throwing an interception. He was the only rookie quarterback to not throw a pick. St. Louis is looking real nice this year. They revamped their offense. Their defense is looking pretty good. They picked off Matthew Stafford 3 times in the first half. But I'm going to have to give it to the Washington Redskins. I see the Redskins going 2-0, and I hate the Redskins, but RG3 is looking real nice. I think he's going to have a bigger year than Cam Newton, even though Cam Newton really didn't have that big of a year to me. I feel like if RG3 gets more than 6 wins, he already had a better year than Cam Newton, and this is already week 1. Dallas versus Seattle. This is going to be tough because Dallas is going into Seattle. And I just don't see Dallas some way, somehow is going to mess up in this game. And I don't know, the Seahawks, they have the rookie Russell Wilson starting for them. And I see him doing good in the NFL, but I don't know. I can't see him getting past that Dallas Cowboy pass rush. And that's just going to be a real big test for him. I'm going to give the nod to the Seahawks. I'm not going to call it an upset because it won't be. I really don't have any upset games this week. So I'm going to give it the nod to the Seahawks. New York Jets versus the Pittsburgh. The Jets, they had that huge offensive explosion in week 1, putting up, I want to say, 48 points after not even putting up any points, any offensive touchdowns in week 1. So we'll see how this goes. I picked Pittsburgh to win. I just can't see Pittsburgh going 0-2 under Mike Tomlin because Mike Tomlin's a great coach and he'll handle that real nice and real heavily. So I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh. Let's see some of the rest of these games. We got Tennessee versus San Diego. I don't like this game at all because Tennessee and San Diego are just not on the map for me at all. I'm going to give it to San Diego because they have a way better offense than Tennessee. Detroit versus San Francisco. It's hard to bet against San Francisco with that great defense of theirs. I'm going to say the best defense in the league. Detroit, Matthew Stafford, he's suspect. So I'm going to give it to San Francisco. And the last game of week 2 is Denver going up against Atlanta. I'm probably going to give a little more in depth because I like the Atlanta Falcons and I follow them more than I follow any other NFL team. Peyton Manning's coming off his first win in like 2 years. He didn't play last season, and he brought the Denver Broncos a win in week 1 after getting rid of Tebow for Peyton Manning. And to me, that was kind of the best thing they could have did. That was like trading in a flip phone for an iPhone at quarterback. Peyton Manning is a great passer. Denver has a good defense, good secondary, good pass rush, and Atlanta they're now switching to this wide open pass first offense, which I think is the best thing they could possibly do because they have 2 outstanding receivers on the outside, Tony Gonzalez in the middle, and I think Jacquizz Rodgers is going to replace Michael Turner as a starting running back because Jacquizz Rodgers can run and receive out of the backfield. Michael Turner is one of those old school beat you up, run down the middle type of running backs, and that's going out of the NFL in like I want to say 2 years. Like nobody's going to have a power running game anymore, except for probably the San Francisco 49ers. But if Atlanta, I think people are really overestimating Tracy Porter. He picked that pass off from Ben Roethlisberger last week and ran it back in the end zone for a touchdown. I just don't see anybody really stopping Julio Jones right now. He's too big, too physical, too much of a beast for anybody to stop. You saw Kansas City try to stop him. He just ran all muck over them. What I like about Julio Jones is that he can run across the middle. And he can also run verts, which is good in this league because if you can run verts, your offense is great and amazing. Matt Ryan, this is going to be his biggest year. I think he has a chance to pass 5,000 yards. I think he has a chance to have the lowest touchdown interception ratio in the league. because he's a safe quarterback, but I feel like he's about to get into that gunslinger mentality and take a little more chances. And with the receivers that the Atlanta Falcons have, I feel like they're going to do good this year. I have Matt Ryan winning the MVP because there's really nobody else out there besides Tom Brady. Peyton Manning could win MVP, but I think Atlanta's gonna test him with like a couple blitzes, but they got to disguise that. I have Matt Ryan going 2-0 and the Atlanta Falcons, and Denver losing their first game under Peyton Manning. Well, that's all the NFL games that are coming on this week. I hope you like my picks, and if you didn't like my picks, tell me why you didn't like my picks. And I'm not gonna really say anything about them. I'm just gonna stick with my picks. I guess I'll go back at the end of the season and see how I did. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more NFL picks or subscribe for more gameplay if you like the game that you saw. This is more of an objective play game because people tell me I need to play the objective more, so I did. I did just that. I played the objective more. And I'm VA Prince 101, and I'm out. Press the like button if you liked it. All right. Peace.